Coach Popovich is awesome. There's really not much more to say to that. He is definitely my favorite presence in the NBA right now, besides Giannis. I like Giannis a lot. But he was asked why the NBA is putting so much attention on Black History Month, and he had a good response. Check it out.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. The league is made up of a lot of black guys, so to honor that and understand it is pretty simplistic. How would you ignore that? But more importantly, we live in a racist country that hasn't figured it out yet, and it's always important to bring attention to it, even if it angers some people. The point is that you have to keep it in front of everybody's nose so they understand it still hadn't been taken care of and we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Once again, jocks are better. Just imagine that. An exchange between Popovich and some YouTube moron who's like, identity politics.
I don't want to,
That's called basic history and social awareness there, which is really like not that much to aspire to. I mean, he articulates it really well, but those things are so obvious. Well, number one, it's a professional environment that's overrepresented by black people, so we recognize it. And then more broadly, we live in a racist society, so we need to address and overcome that because it's a question of democracy, not identity.
He's like, he's like the good Belichick, basically. Like they both.
I actually buy that.
They both have the reputations for the X's and O's sort of wizardry,
right?
But actually, Popovich has good politics too.
Popovich is great politics, yeah.
Just imagine if we had like one in each league. How different this
Just one.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because you kind of notice how NBA is more prone. NBA coaches particularly are more prone to talk about stuff like this. Steve Kerr does that, but it's not like the players aren't really that far out on the limb. Like there's no Kaepernicks in the NBA really. Like nobody going out on that far of a limb.
That's interesting. Although I think the
coaches lead basically.
The environment is less contentious in the NBA though, because like the main audience, like
right.
In order to be an NBA fan, I'm not saying you have to be like, obviously there's plenty of conservative people that are into NBA, but you have to have in this no sideline world, like NBA is not Trump world. NFL really is one of the only things that remains that really across all of these ways that we've tried to we've decided to micro segment ourselves, everybody's still into NFL.
I think it's also a numbers thing, right? Because the NBA is a star league. There are a few guys that are going to have a much larger platform than the rest of the guys. And you've already sussed out so many more people by getting to the NBA, I guess.
I mean, I think that's partially true, but I mean, no one would know if you were a casual observer, you wouldn't know who Kaepernick was if he didn't make a political statement.
Of course, yeah. I'm saying
I think that
leverages it.
No, but I'm saying if a bench guy in the NBA, a guy who was like a, bench power forward who nobody really had heard of, came out and started taking the knee or something, you'd know who he was.
Yeah.
But yes, like obviously, I mean, even LeBron's and Curry's super gentle criticisms of Trump have gotten a lot of attention. I think in their cases, not that it takes anything away from what they've done. I think it's almost the opposite though not that they would get in trouble anywhere with the bosses if they got inflammatory, but I think from a fan retention point of view,
right.
You cannot be you couldn't be LeBron and be like, oh yeah, that's my president. Like, forget it. That's going to completely destroy your whole market base there.
Doing a great job, LeBron.
Yeah, wow, LeBron. I call him LeBron.